What if the pulse of Hollis Hall was shifting, and a storm was brewing that could shake the very foundation of our beloved Chicago Bears? Are we on the brink of a dramatic standoff with one of our key defensive players, a guy who commands attention and respect on the field, and might just be holding out for what he deserves? Buckle up, Bears fans, because the whispers coming out of Chicago this week are starting to sound an awful lot like the first rumblings of conflict. And you won't want to miss this. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for every heart-stopping update, and sound off in the comments. Do you think Jaylon Johnson deserves that pay raise he's been hinting at? Now, let's dive into this wild, swirling rumor mill that's been churning out speculations faster than you can say Bears while we're in the hunt. Inside sources are hinting at a tense situation surrounding Johnson, who, mind you, just landed on the active non-football injury list. That's right, folks, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill bump and bruise. This is a signal, a siren that something's not quite right, and it's raising eyebrows and pulses among us fans as we hold our breath, wondering what's really going on behind those closed doors at Halas Hall. This is not just a blip on the radar. It's potentially the start of a standoff with ramifications that reach deep into the fabric of our franchise. And the name at the center of this swirling storm? Jaylon Johnson, our standout cornerback, whose recent candid remarks about the defensive back market are echoing through the halls like a shot heard round the league. To say the stakes are high would be an understatement. Johnson's comments about how he feels seriously underpaid compared to his peers are sending a clear message. He's ready to talk serious business, but will the front office heed his warning? Or will they gamble with his future at their peril? Bears fans know our history, whether it was the heartbreak of '06, the promise of '18, or the legends we proudly wear on our jerseys like Peyton and Ehrlicher. We are a franchise defined by loyalty and grit. And yet, what happens when that loyalty is tested? Johnson's currently signed on for roughly a $1.1 million salary. But let's be real. When you compare that to the rocket-fueled salaries flying around the league these days, coupled with his explosive talents, it begs the question, are we witnessing the rise of another painful chapter in Bears history where a key player walks away due to disrespect? Imagine if this holdout escalates. What if Johnson, a player vital to our defensive identity, decides to sit it out and the Bears plunge into chaos as other teams feast on our weaknesses? The very stability of our defensive game plan hangs in the balance. Without Johnson, can we sustain that pressure on opposing offenses that we need so desperately? And let's not forget the ripple effect this can create. An unsettled Johnson could mean missed tackles, blown coverages, and shattered confidence at the worst possible time. We, the fans, crave that glory, the thrill of a new Bears era where our team surges through the ranks once more. We want to believe, but let's not kid ourselves. The reality is that every year brings a new wave of top talent whose contracts balloon beyond comprehension. And this time, it's not just Johnson feeling the financial pinch. It's a validation crisis for the heart and soul of our defense. Are we prepared to watch our beloved Bears let yet another crucial player slip through our fingers, or will they rise to the occasion and match the value of what Johnson brings? This isn't simply an issue of contracts, it's about respect, passion, and the future we dare to dream of as fans of the monsters of the Midway. And with the training camp looming ever closer, this situation is growing more tense by the day. Hold your breath, Bears Nation, because the countdown is on and the uncertainty is palpable. In the next few days, we'll find out if this is merely a bump in the road or the beginning of something much darker. Because make no mistake, the weight of our legacy rests not just on the shoulders of our players, but on the decisions made within those walls. Will Jaylon Johnson rise to the occasion, or will this be a harbinger of turmoil we haven't seen in years? Stay tuned, stay vigilant. The next chapter in this Bears saga is just around the corner. As I stand here, trying to make sense of everything swirling around our beloved Bears, I can't help but feel the weight of our past sitting heavy on my chest, a burden woven from years of pain and occasional glory. igniting a rallying cry from the depths of every diehard Bears fan who's ever screamed at the TV in triumph or despair. Asterisk. This is not just another season. This is our legacy at stake. Asterisk. The very essence of what it means to be a Chicago Bear fighting to claw back into relevancy, to heal the wounds that have festered since the glory days of 1985. We've tasted the bitter dregs of defeat too many times, seen dreams dashed by double doinks and last-minute collapses. But what if I told you that the time is now? This moment could be the genesis of a resurrection that we've been craving. Think about it. The whispers echoing through the halls of Hollis Hall are not just the machinations of management, but an awakening. A hunger in the locker room that is sparking fire where previously smoldered ashes lay. Players are rallying, murmuring about the recent changes. You can feel it. Justin Fields, that kid with a burning desire to rewrite history, isn't just looking at another season ahead. He's picturing a glorious legacy kneaded into our franchise's scarred fabric. But what if the air in the locker room is electric because they finally realize that the myth of the curse of the Bears can be broken? Imagine being the team that thrust Chicago back to the top, that moment when the hearts of a million fans beat in unison once more. You think Green Bay cares? The last thing they want to see is a rejuvenated Chicago Bears squad churning out victories, their own inferiority complex bubbling to the surface like a pot about to boil over. The Vikings? They've been teetering on success. And the Lions? Gasp! Are reinventing themselves, but can they really carry the weight of expectations? Meanwhile, we're sitting here, clinging to our memories of Singletary roaring on the field, Ehrlichor dismantling oppositions, and Hester lighting up return units like a Christmas tree. I still remember that night in 2010, the anger, shouts, the disbelief as we watched Aaron Rodgers march down the field against us, like that guy who just keeps showing up to the party uninvited. And don't get me started on 18. The chance for glory snatched away in grotesque fashion. Asterisk. Was it the kick, the coaching, or just fate? Yet, here we are with our choices shimmering like shards of broken glass. Are we finally ready to pick them up, or will we let history repeat itself, spiraling into another abyss of mediocrity? You could feel the doubt creeping in like lake wind off Soldier Field in December. It chills you to the bone, but it also motivates you. Does this remind you of anything? A little underdog story, a flicker of hope that when coupled with the fury of the fans could launch this team to greatness? Will our stadium shake to the chant of "Bear down" for something truly profound? But let me ask you this. What if Fields really does turn it around, and we find ourselves back in a position to challenge for the NFC, like we once fought tooth and nail? Consider the chaos that would ensue in this city, where the very air would shift, spirits igniting like fireworks, and rival fans will cower, knowing they're facing a recharged monster ready to pounce. But will we rise? Or will we buckle under the pressure, echoing our own past mistakes? We stand at the precipice, people. Every decision made within those walls on Lake Michigan echoes with the sounds of past failures, the ghosts of our history, dancing nervously in the shadows, waiting for any sign of our commitment. So I ask you, do we dare hope? Are we ready to reclaim Chicago's football heart? Or are we forever destined to wander the shadow of past glories? Just another season. Etched in heartbreak? The time for questions is now. We might have just the right storm brewing back at Hollis Hall,